the Classic. And joining us right now on the line is Dottie Shirreffs, racing manager for the Mosses, who has been involved with Zenyatta from the start, and she is due in just a few days. Dottie, thanks for coming on the show. How are you?
We're good. Thank you very much. I was just talking to the farm prior to your call, and Matt, that tie is fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. See, she has good taste, Greg.
It makes me happy. It makes me smile.
Okay.
Dottie, I want to start with, first of all, what a great writer Zenyatta is. Is it thanks to that new app they created that you could just kind of put it up to Zenyatta and then it translates into her blog she writes?
Oh, she's talented. This is a talented horse. We all knew she was gifted as an athlete, but she's multidimensional, so she writes every day.
Yeah, so Greg and I were reading her latest blog, and it sounds like she's excited about giving birth soon. She feels great. She's healthy. She's eating well. It sounds like everything's going perfectly right now.
It is. For the farm, their comment is that everything is going as great as you would expect. And
she has a companion, right? Tasty is her good friend?
Tasty Temptation, yes, is her good friend. She's a stakes winner, and ironically, they were both bred on the same day to different stallions, Tasty's and Fold a Candy Ride. And so they're going through this entire process together.
Very, very fun for them.
That's nice to have company. Have you noticed the change of getting closer to the date, a big change in her demeanor?
At the farm, I saw her a few months ago. The farm commented that she's been just adorable, you know, that she's been monitoring everything with Tasty, and they go out. They're in their regular routine. They leave the barn about 7:30, go out, spend some time in the paddock, and then they come in about 3:30 and relax for the evening.
When do you plan on seeing her next?
John and I, the Mosses are going to go when she's born. We were just working that out with the farm.
Okay.
They are going to go when she's having the baby, when the baby's born. Mm-hmm. John and I will go a little bit later when the baby's out running around in the field with her.
Do you know, we had, I think it was Elliot Walden on last week, and they had video of a new baby being born and kind of falling over in the stall. It was really cute. Are there any plans with the Mosses to let the fans kind of see a little bit more of the process of what happens with this baby?
Yes, they are working on some plans like that right now. And Elliot, it's funny, it's cute. He had asked the farm if Zenyatta could write about that. So in one of her diaries, we have that clip, and it's very cute. So it's kind of giving a tutorial to Zenny about what it's going to be like to be a new mom.
Oh, nice.
It's funny, even though, I mean, you said the last time you saw her was a couple months ago?
Right.
So even though it's been a while now since she's raced, and obviously she's at a different period in her life, when you see her, do you still have that competitive fire in her a little bit when you still see her, even though she obviously hasn't been on the racetrack in a while?
Yes. You know, she's an athlete through and through, and I think that's something that made her so competitive when she was at the racetrack. She has a big heart, and she likes to do things in a very positive way. So every bit of her is just glorious.
Wouldn't it be great? I know horse racing does every other sport we see it, the old former stars come back and they go head-to-head. Couldn't we make that happen with Zenyatta?
For women, for horses, it might be a little bit different after they fold a little bit. Their body changes, you know. That maternal instinct sets in.
Do you still get out the old tapes and pop them in and watch some of the, some of her the highlights throughout her unbelievable career?
I do. John doesn't. He said it's so fresh in his mind that it'll never leave his mind, that he just relives it every day mentally. And we feel very blessed by all of it. But I'll watch the tapes, yes.
Well, I mean, obviously you've been close to Zenyatta from the beginning. At what point did you kind of realize that this was a horse that was going to be, I mean, no one could predict she'd be what she was and so amazing and really have such an impact on the sport. But at what point did you realize that she was going to be really special?
Well, the first time was when we got the call. David was at Jeannie Mayberry's where she was broken, and he called me at Christmas. So this was right when she was getting ready to turn 2. And he said, Mom, I hope they name this horse something special. Give her a really good name, because she's running rings around the other horses here. I mean, she's in gallop mode, and she's just going around twice to there every one time around the track. And the other horses were nice horses. And then when John had her about a month after she'd come in from the training center, so that was about the end of May, beginning of June, he took a friend of ours over to the stall, and he said, this is my Michael Jordan if I can get her right. And that's when everything kicked into. She was a big girl, and she had a lot of body parts that she had to grow into and let them mature and settle. And and just get everything perfect for her.
Is it fair to say that obviously on the racetrack she's one of the greatest of all time, but what made her arguably, I don't know, maybe the most popular horse of all time, if not one of the top 2 or 3 most popular horses in the history of racing, was her personality, was the fact that she loved the crowd being around her. She was having fun, she was pleasant, she was dancing, she was beautiful, she was big. Her personality and the way she went about her business was almost just as important in her getting that fan base as what she did in the racetrack, right?
I agree, and I know John feels the same way as do the Mosses. She just loved people, and she loved the fact that they loved her, and she took it all in and was gracious to everyone. I mean, there were mornings when there would be, I think there was one morning 175 people were there at the barn at Hollywood Park, and she stood for a picture with every single one of them or their, family or whatever. But she stood there for every picture, and she loved people. She loved the attention, and she loved to perform.
That's analogous to like the all-star player at spring training in baseball signing every autograph for every kid that's there who comes up.
She doesn't have that ego, which is great.
Right.
No ego, but she was very happy to do it. I mean, when I was standing there one morning, 3 people were bringing their families, 3 groups of people brought their families out because they were doing their Christmas card photo, and they sent it out
right.
to Zenyatta. And it was fans. It was fabulous.
Well, I saw, and I looked on some of the blogs. So you have the Zenyatta. There's a Zenyatta, I guess the dance she did. There's a poster of that, but there's also the plushie with her and the soon-to-be-born baby as well that you can get, right?
Right. And the painting, the Queen's Dance, which is on there, that's really an actual life-size painting, which we have brought out from Kentucky. We had it at the Zenyatta party for Breeders' Cup, and it is actually to her dimensions. It is
oh, wow.
Zenyatta. And so they have it at Santa Anita, and Jamie Coram, the artist, is going to come out, and they're going to keep it there until Breeders' Cup.
Do you know if, I know obviously Mike has a pretty busy schedule right now. Is he planning on getting out there as well, Mr. Smith?
Yes. I mean, she's a big part of all of our lives.
Yeah.
Always will be. I mean, to accomplish what she's done, I mean, the level of respect we have for her is the highest you can possibly have.
And as Matt was alluding, I mean, she was so popular, one of the most popular horses that we've ever seen in a long time.
The history of the sport.
Is that fervor still there? I mean, does she still have her fans writing her letters and checking in on her like?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Her fan base has doubled on her Facebook page since she retired. So she's right at 100,000.
And we just got to get her on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the fans are twittering about her. Right now we want her to focus on having her baby.
Yeah.
She's, and becoming a mom and all of that. But
and don't you think that the legend's going to continue? I mean, with your typical great athlete, you're obviously popular while they're competing, and then maybe a year or 2 afterwards, and they're sort of forgotten about. But then there's the all-time great athletes, and their folklore, it kind of becomes a folklore, and it kind of just grows and grows and grows through time. That's what's going to happen with Zenyatta, isn't it?
That's what we see happening, because she represents so much for so many people. And they've all identified with her for one aspect of her life or another. And what's the absolutely fabulous part of this is so many of these people have become friends, and they've become fans to go to the racetrack together. 2 of them wrote me the other day that they'd met over the Facebook page, and they go to races in Texas.
That's neat.
To the track there. A bunch of them flew, to Florida. I mean, they're starting now. They love going to the races, and they're sharing this bond with each other and obviously with all of us.
Well, and everyone in horse racing has to say thanks to you, thanks to John, thanks to the Mosses.
Definitely.
For bringing her back.
And
for that other,
thanks to her.
Absolutely. But we got to see her for that another year, which was so fantastic and made this sport so fun. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it, and we're going to continue to check in on the website and look forward to March 9th, right, is the expected due date?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it's early part of March.
Okay.
They're kind of, as we're monitoring her little bag and all of that, and seeing how it's going. But they're thinking sometime next week, the way it looks physically right now with the way she's progressed.
Yeah, and there's the most recent picture we have of her in full. All right, well, we'd love to hear from you again after it takes place, but thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Dottie.
Hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much, and have a good day, you guys.
You too.
Thanks.
Dottie Shirreffs, racing manager for the Mosses, and Zenyatta looks fantastic. So soon, gonna have that first baby, and I'm getting you a plushie